hope you've been well this week. I have a new prenatal workout video for you guys. I've gotten a ton of requests for yoga video. I've been doing yoga since prior to pregnancy, more so now since I'm getting further along. However, I want to share with you some of my favorite moves to prevent those yucky back aches and kind of ease the round ligament pains and some of the sciatic pains that you might be having. Yoga is a wonderful way to prepare your body for birth and to really stretch and get everything out there loosened up a bit. And it's also great for calming your mind, because a lot of you who are first-time mothers are probably having a lot of jitteriness and anxiousness about your first baby being delivered. I don't blame you. I was there once. But I hope you enjoy this 10-minute sequence that you can do at home. It's very simple. You don't need anything but a yoga mat and your baby belly. All right, let's go. All right, ladies, the first pose I'm doing is called the Garland Pose. This is really great for opening tight hips. Some of you might have some difficulty with squatting this low, and for a modification, you could just pop up a little bit. However, you definitely want to get down as low as possible. You really want to open the inside of your thighs. It's really great for a stronger labor, a stronger delivery, and to help push the baby out. Not to get gross or anything, but it really works those muscles right here and releases tight muscles. All right, so you're just gonna hold for 5 deep breaths. Okay, when you're finished, you can sit down or you can stand up, but either way, you can come out of the pose and you can relax for a bit. I suggest doing this pose a minimum of 5 times, and just hold it for 5 breaths. All right? All right, ladies, the next pose we're gonna do is called the Goddess Pose, and it's very similar to the Garland Pose, which is the pose we just did. And the fact that it really loosens up tight hamstrings and quads and really opens your tight hips for delivery. So you're gonna spread your feet as far apart as you can, but instead of going all the way down like we did with the Garland Pose, we're just gonna stop like about hip level, kind of like you're doing a regular squat. And you're gonna open up your hips as much as you can without falling. You can put your hands up to your sides and hold it, or you can clasp your hands together, whichever is easiest for you. You're going to hold it for 5 breaths. One more breath. When you're done, you can stand back up or you can sit down. You can relax, and you're going to repeat that pose for 5 more reps. All right, so this next pose is wonderful for those lower achy back pains. It's called the Triangle Pose. It's probably one of my favorites. And what you're going to do is you're going to stand up, feet down shoulder, a little wider than shoulder width apart. Let's start with the right side. You're going to do both sides during this pose. You're going to go down, and with your right hand, you're going to touch your right ankle. If you can go down lower, touch your right foot. And you're going to open up and rotate your chest, and you're going to put your arm up into the air, and you're going to hold it for 5 deep breaths. Really feel the stretch in your lower back. All right, you're going to come back up, and you're going to repeat. You're going to do the opposite side now. So you're going to go down with your left hand, either grab your left ankle or your left foot, doesn't matter, as far as you can go comfortably. You're going to extend your right arm up to the air. 5 deep breaths. Really feel the stretch. One more deep breath. All right. Alright ladies, the next pose we're going to be doing is called the Warrior One pose. It's kind of a bit of a lunge type pose. It works your legs and it's great for your lower back as well. You're going to do both legs during this pose. So you're going to get down. Let's see, if you want to do your right side or your right leg first, you'll get in kind of like a lunge position. You're down. Your left leg is going to be backward. You're going to kind of have a slight bend to your right knee. You're going to throw your hands up in the air. You can either clasp them or you can just let them go up straight. It doesn't matter, whichever you prefer. You're going to hold it for 5 breaths. Alright, and when you're ready, you're going to switch sides and you're going to do the opposite leg for the same amount of breaths. Alright ladies, so the next pose we're going to be doing is called the Pigeon Pose. This is probably my second favorite pose to do during pregnancy because it really helps with tight backs and tight hips. Again, a lot of these poses help with tight hips because you're going to need it during labor and delivery. You're going to basically do this pose on each side, so alternating legs or whatnot. You're going to start with your left leg. You're going to place it kind of like you're about to crisscross your legs. It's kind of hard to explain this one. It's definitely a weird pose. So you have your leg out in front of you like this, your left leg, and then you're going to take your right leg and as long as your body permits, you're going to put it behind you. Now, this is more of a, a harder pose to do because it requires a great deal of flexibility already. So you're going to do it slowly. Obviously, you cannot put your leg straight back behind you. You can somewhat bend it to modify. But if you can, go ahead and put it straight behind you. And you got your leg bent in front of you. And you can either put your arms at your sides. You can look up. You can, put your hands in front of you. You can place your hands wherever you feel comfortable. It really does not matter here. And you're just going to hold this pose for 5 deep breaths. Alright, you're going to repeat 4 more times and you're going to switch and do the opposite leg. Ladies, next pose on the list is very easy compared to the rest of them. It's called the chair pose. And basically you're going to stand feet shoulder width apart and you're going to put your hands together. You're going to bend down slightly, kind of like you're preparing to sit your booty in a chair, but not all the way. This isn't a full squat, however it does work the butt and the legs during pregnancy. So you're going to kind of slightly squat as if you're sitting in a chair. Put your hands up in the air or clasp them together. You're going to hold this pose for 5 breaths. Focusing on each breath. And that is all there is to it. Alright ladies, the next move we're going to do is actually a 2-pose sequence. It's called the cat and cow pose. You might have heard it before. It works well, doing the pose one after the other. It's great for your lower back. It's also very calming. It's probably my 3rd favorite pose I like to do. I tend to do this one before bed though, or after sitting for long periods of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to get down. We're going to start off with doing the cat pose. And the cat pose is basically, think of a cat when they stick their butt up and their back, they want basically to get scratched or rubbed. You know how they kind of arch their back? So you're going to just hold it for 5 breaths. And focus on a deep stretch in your back. Now we're going to go into what's called the cow pose. And you're going to arch your back the other way. So This one feels really good on your back. And just relax, think happy thoughts. Breath. And then you're going to go back up into cat pose, excuse me, for more breaths. And you're going to go back down into cow. You're going to finish out for 5 breaths per pose, and basically you're going to run through that 5 times, doing each pose 5 times total. So the next pose that I'm doing is called the butterfly pose. As you can see, I'm already in the appropriate position for the pose. Basically, you just put the bottoms of your feet together. Some of you might not be able to hold your feet as close as you can into your body. That's fine. Stop wherever you feel comfortable. However, this pose might be very easy for some of you, and if you want to modify it to actually make it a little more challenging, you can hold your feet at the toes and you can kind of lean forward. You could really feel the stretch around your buttocks and tailbone area. This is my favorite stretch for sciatic nerve pain. Sorry, prego brain is completely ruling my life right now. It's also great for lower back pain as well, just like every other pose I've been doing today. You're going to hold this pose for 5 breaths. You're going to do it 5 times, just like all the other poses. You can go ahead and you can do the regular pose, which is what I'm doing, or you can do the modified pose to make it harder, which is just leaning forward. Alright, let's do it for 5 breaths. All right, and you're just going to do that 4 more times to complete 5 reps. All right, ladies, the last pose that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is called Child's Pose. It's very simple, and it's a pose that I like to end all of my sequences with because it's very relaxing. And basically, you're going to start on your knees. You're going to roll forward. You can place your head down on the mat. Do a further stretch. If you want to stretch your shoulders, I'm just going to hold this for however long you'd like. Sometimes I feel like I'm going to fall asleep in this pose because it's so relaxing. But if you want, you can just do 5 deep breaths, and that'll be the end of your yoga sequence for the day. Alright, ladies, well, I hope you enjoyed this sequence, and I really hope that these poses take care of your aches and pains, and I wish you an easy delivery. So I will see you next week for a brand new video on my YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Bye.